It is, of course, Christmas. So, we're going to head up to the North Pole.
Elves!
And we're going to be some happy little elves. You guys can, amongst yourselves, decide who your elves are and like what your jobs on the North Pole would be.
First off, they say amongst your elves.
And how do I get back with the Okay, cool. Yeah, no, decide who you are.
Oh, no, I don't know who I am.
You can do it Smurf style and just have like an emotion that describes you.
My elf is going to be Chonky.
Chunky, yeah.
Chonky the elf. He large.
Guess I'll be anorexia.
You could be slightly, or...
Yes. Do you want to be twins?
Be twinnies.
So we got Chunky and Slightly. Scott?
I'll be Kardashian. Everything's going to be extremely dramatic. I'm either going to be very happy or very angry or very sad at all times.
You're always 100.
So, these are our elves. Obviously, in the North Pole, there's many elves. It has all the bits that you'd expect Santa's land to have. Stables for the reindeer. Obviously, there's a workshop. Different little huts. Huts where people live, do this and stuff. Anyone have a preference in jobs?
Chonky is, he crushes grapes to make the Christmas wine.
Slightly, what do you do?
I will let you decide, Rowan, because my imagination has left me this evening.
Just in time.
You've obviously, they're going to put you near Chunky. You guys are going to have to work near each other. So you're kind of like quality management over there.
Chonky gets lonely if Slightly is not nearby.
Slightly really only has the job out of kind of a level of pity.
Oh.
Any idea for jobs for Kardashian?
Specifically
Social media.
Social media, I like that.
And of course, it is the night before Christmas.
Oh.
And things are pretty chill. The vast amount of the elves' work has happened. They've made the toys. Now it's just time for, like, most elves' favourite ceremony of the year, watching Santa's sleigh take off with the presents. Everyone fucking loves it. Everyone then gets pissed afterwards because it's like, you know, while the boss is away.
The elves will play.
Yeah, absolutely. They spent the entire year making toys for kids and other people. Now it's time for them to just hang out, play, have fun, drink some of the leftover wine, anything that you think they would get up to. But the vineyard, the North Pole vineyard, is a bit further out. It's hard life. There's a reason Chunky has to do it, and that's because the grapes are frozen. It's not an easy task, and we have Slightly there with several layers of the elf clothes because, by gosh, Slightly, God bless him, he'll freeze to death real quick. Of course, Kardashian elf, that job can happen anywhere. Well, it should be able to happen anywhere. There's just no fucking signal. Most of the time is spent looking for signal on the phone. But it's okay. Kardashian elf, whilst out here looking for signal, stops by you guys. You guys are packing up for the day, and you can hear the other elves singing, "Oh, little elfie sound," or however you want elves to sound. A lot of the other elves will sound like this, wow! And they're all kind of gathering around the airstrip for Santa to do the big takeoff. And I assume you guys are going to head there too.
Obviously, I've got a live tweet here. I've got to
And with my slight frame, I can weasel my way to the front.
I put a Kardashian on my shoulders so you can see get a good view for the pictures.
I love you so much.
Did anybody call or poke you today?
You guys make your way over there, and there is a big crowd of elves. There's a whole bunch of them. You try to kind of squeeze in, and quite successfully, slightly. You do squeeze in between elbows and face. The rough and tumblers of the elven community. Obviously, their friend Shady is currently asleep in bed, quite sick. And there you have it. Where we have, at the front of it, with his two little red lights, signalling for Santa's takeoff, and you're waiting for Santa to appear.
Santa, 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 Santa,
And then,
Santa.
then a door to the stable opens wide. Ho, ho, ho!
Santa!
Hello there, my elves!
I'm shaking you up and down.
I nearly faint from lack of food and excitement.
Being held up by the elf crowd around you.
Yeah.
Once again, Santa must thank you for a wonderful year of help. Wonderful year of toy building or whatever other jobs you do that I care less about. I'm looking at you, Stanky. And there, of course, is Stanky Elf.
Stanky.
Stanky deals with the outhouses. For, as I said, it is an old school place and they do not have proper plumbing for anyone but Santa. But of course, now I must take my leave to give joy to children amongst the worlds. And you, my elves, will take care of the North Pole while I am gone. I am so proud of you. please, we'll keep the work up. 2020 seconds, the biggest year yet. Gets into his sleigh with Rudolph taking the lead. Like a lighthouse light, like a proper bulb shooting ahead. And he gives a good old call out. I can't remember exactly what he says at the top of my head. I know there's Dasher, Dancer, Prancer. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Cupid, on Cupid.
You've done well.
And the reindeers start taking off.
3.
Let's go! And you see the red lights. He's got those like 2 little red reflector lights, like reverse lights at the back. You see the light disappear off into the distance. You see in the dark as it goes take off. And then the light turns off. There is a hush amongst all the elves. It used to be just a big old take-off, lap around, quick showboat for the elves and off. But there's nothing.
So Santa?
What's happening?
Slightly!
It's just his latest trick. He's coming back.
Shut up, Chunky, you're annoying me. I need to know.
A lot of the elves kind of looking, and they're kind of looking around for each other. And step forward is firstly the elf. First in command, obviously. Firstly steps forward. Firstly, no one knows what Firstly's name used to be. Changed it 2 years ago.
That's a lifetime ago.
But Firstly steps forward. Well, that was an interesting trick. Someone said trick, and you got all the other elves, and like, you know, there's like about 100 elves here. They're all kind of like panicking. Do we think that's okay? Slightly.
Yes, firstly.
You said it was a trick.
It has to be. Still being propped up by 2 people, otherwise I would.
For sure. your feet aren't touching the ground.
He always makes the tricks bigger and better every year.
Maybe it's just a prank.
What's this not a prank, you fucking idiots and fucking patience? I don't have any patience.
God, now she's been on her phone too much again.
I'm gonna slam you on Instagram, Firsty.
Of course, the old one being Cookie, one of the oldest elves that you have, that is still like up and walking. I've been on this earth for too long. I've never seen Santa go out there and not do a lap around to show off his wintry ways.
What should we do, guys?
What would Santa want us to do?
Show of hands. Who here is concerned by Santa's antics? The second.
You have to have faith in Santa
I'm
Claus.
concerned.
And so all the elf hands are up, and then first he goes, who is concerned enough to go investigate? And then all hands come down, except for Stevie.
And me!
And Chunky. Stevie goes, we've been protecting this place for half my life, all 3 years. We ain't seen that something's gone wrong, but we'd be doing Santa an injustice not to go see. Sing! Pulls out what it basically looks like an elongated needle, just to make sure he took off okay.
I'm coming too, and I'll bring my
I'm visibly faint.
Think of the social media followers I'm following, and I'm gonna fucking document it all on our blog.
Live tweet it.
live tweet this whole thing.
We will not think about the social media following.
You never do, you fool.
Just the 3 of them then, and a lot of elves look around sheepish. Elves back in my day used to have backbone. He starts just stomping off into the distance.
I guess we better go after him. I'll carve a path through the snow with my giant thighs.
I'm holding on to Kardashian as in a moral support, but I'm just using her to stay standing.
I've always hated that slut, Santa's little helper.
Something ain't right. We don't think he ever took off.
What?
Do you think he just vanished? See, it was all part of a trick.
No, look, the sleigh trails keep going. And he pulls out this tiny little circular lantern thing he's got, which lets out a slight white glow. And he kind of scans it across. You can see these 2 lines going into the snow. And then skidding. And he goes to follow the trail more.
This is very concerning.
Obviously, lard, just tub of lard.
Does any of you like this lamp?
Yes.
I will carry it. I'm not using my hands for social media.
Oh yeah!
You can...
Kadashi does canonically have a smartphone though, so it also has a torch function on.
What function?
You look up and Stevie is like deep in the distance now. The runway is surrounded by very purposefully planted pine trees or fir trees either side. Purely decoration. As you're in there and you follow the trail that he's followed, you can now see just like in the tree a trail of trees that have been mown down.
Stevie, where have you gone?
No word back from Stevie.
Stevie!
Fuck's sake,
Stevie! I'm like hopping from one foot to another. We gotta go find Stevie.
The lighting is interesting. You've got your torch on, but with Chonky jumping in between, it's kind of a little bit like a slow-mo strobe light as you approach, and you see quite a sinister sight for you guys. The bottom of the sleigh facing you, the light scanning across. You don't know where Stevie's footprints have gone.
Stevie's not here. Can I hobble on after the sleigh? Santa!
Santa!
Follow Chonky.
You see a flash of red. Oh, that's not his hat or any part of the big fat man's gear. There is just a streak of blood across the snow. And then you scan up and you see against one of the fir trees more blood there. You then hear noise from the other side of the sleigh. You're right up with it now. You can see the blood all over the place.
I want to push Chonky towards where the noise is coming from. Like, Chonky, check it out, what's going on?
Okay.
And also, go from the rear of the sleigh, you pop your head, then onto the slow, and one more bit of blood splatter. And you look, and there sits Santa's little helper. Throat seemed to be clawed open, face pale, and blood just seeping out from the neck, from the side of the neck.
Merry Christmas, Santa's little helper.
Santa!
Oh.
Oh no!
What about Santa? I faint.
Yeah, you do.
What do we do, Slightly? What do we do?
You don't know. Do we go back and tell them that he's dead?
Maybe he's not dead.
Fucking hope he's dead.
Where is Stevie?
Fuck Stevie.
Where's Santa?
I think we carry on.
So, we carry on.
There are toys spewed everywhere, presents spewed everywhere as well. You can see that there is a trail of sorts where it seems some large figure has been dragged.
I think we should look for Stevie.
You can just make out that it seems back a little bit from where, just literally like 10 feet from where you came. Stevie, covering their trails, saw the mess and went for a wider perimeter of the situation.
Stevie's in on it.
I've always hated that Stevie, he's a slut.
Maybe he just doesn't like blood.
I think if there is gifts everywhere, I think we should look for weapons, because I'm scared.
Oh, okay, what's in the sleigh?
Oh, that's a good point. We could do a rummage.
Yeah, let's everyone do a rummage. What do you find? You find a teddy bear. You find a teddy bear, and you're like, this is comforting. I need this.
I look for a toy trumpet.
You find a vuvuzela. Kardashian.
I want a baseball bat.
You got a baseball bat.
Cool, so I've got a baseball bat.
I think it may be time to lock and load.
Why did you search for a fucking vuvuzela then?
I load a snowball into my vuvuzela and at a tree.
You know what? Yeah, the snow sort of splatters. Kind of shotgun effect of it.
But I've been thinking about how to weaponize a toy trumpet for a long time.
Chonky, you scare me. I think we should find Stevie the slut, because I fear he may have betrayed us. Now we're weaponized and we can kill him. Or maybe marry him. I don't know which yet.
So you guys will head off to try and find Stevie then. You've got the trail as the snow crunches underneath your feet. And in the distance you do start to hear a bit of a rustling.
There's some rustling up ahead.
Fist bump.
I don't know, I'll push slightly. force Slighty into like a volunteer, that kind of push. Like when you push them quite low, so they just
Oh,
go
okay.
forward.
I back him up. He's my brother. I'm not gonna let him go by himself.
Stevie!
The rustling stops.
Maybe it's Rustly the elf.
Yes, that would make sense. But then you think back, and Rustly was in fact in the crowd with you.
He's in charge of wrapping paper.
Stevie, are you okay? This isn't all your blood, is it, Stevie?
Slightly, as you look down at the snow at the trails, you see that it doesn't quite go to the, it's like the bushed area that is rustled. You see that the steps go, and they go to a tree, and up that tree. As you look up to the tree, there you see Stevie, eyes wide open, finger over their mouth.
What does that mean, Stevie?
Stevie.
And Stevie disappears. Stevie disappears into the tree. Then the bushes start to rustle slowly. As you look at the bush, you see 1, 2, 3, 4 talons. No, those are fingers, but with black, long, spiked nails. The bush
I don't like it.
Oh. And then you see the face with the eyes mostly black, mostly iris. And you see the head is mostly bald. The skin is like a grey, almost green, like a gangrene sort of colour. And then as the shoulder pops out, you see it smile with a mouth full of daggers and blood drench its chin and neck.
I hit it with a snowball.
In the fear, the snow falls out before you get a chance to blow, and it jumps out and attacks Chunky. This is not an elf-sized thing. As it comes out, you see its limbs are much longer. This thing seems to stand at a gargantuan, like 5'7", and it leaps out, immediately grabs arm and neck into at least.
I pathetically throw the lamp.
Now they're like uplighting with Stevie in the trees, like.
Get off!
Stevie, you slut! Why aren't you helping us?
Kill us all!
I want to start hitting whatever this fucking thing is.
Onto the floor.
Fuck is this thing?
It starts to get onto its feet. And as you then swing this time and say your line, it takes the bat, lifts you up, palms you off. Screw it, it's going to hit you with it. You hit to the ground, you're like, you're hurt, but you are still conscious. It turns the attention back to Chunky.
I try and poke it in the eye with the thin end of my Vivizola.
Adachi, are you okay?
Of course I'm not, you idiot. Do something.
Okay. I'll just make a snowball and just throw it.
It hits and it disappears into the bushes backwards.
Take that, you bitch!
It's still got the baseball bat, right?
Yeah, man.
I'm going after it.
Chunky's going after it.
Yeah, I'm diving head first, arms out into the bushes.
Chunky, you dive into the bushes, kind of power through and look up, and there you see Fate, like on its knees, dragging snow out of its eye, is one of the creatures. Behind it is, in his red suit, with the white fluff stained with red, is Santa. Look at her. Chunky. And then either side of Santa are 2 more of those beings.
Santa! And I want to reach for the baseball bat.
Chunky grabs the bat, and that gives the creature reason enough to pull you in. From the other side of the bushes, you don't see exactly what happens, but you hear it as you hear Chunky screams as fang after fang delves into his flesh.
Chunky? Chunky?
I think we should go up the tree.
I can't leave him! I want to chase into where the sound was coming from. Chunky!
I mean, let's be real. The next thing that happens, you see Chunky just like limp on the floor with creatures there, with the bat, and slightly hits the deck. But actually, you can hear what sounds like dogs eating the scraps of meat.
This is so not cool. Stevie, I'm coming up.
You look up, Stevie's not up there anymore.
Stevie can't.
Stevie seems to have abandoned you. I don't want to panic you, but these guys are in a blood frenzy now.
I'm up and going up the tree regardless. I got a 6.
No!
God Kardashian! You jump on the tree and kind of grab on. The bark peels off and you land on your back. As you then kind of look a bit over there, you see the treetops moving as Stevie is clearly leaving you to die.
For the gram.
For the gram!
Look the other way. Then cut back to the central area of the North Pole with like the crowd of elves have kind of like cautiously gone back to their jobs and stuff, and 3 of those elves would be Baxter. What would one of those elves be?
Well, I think I quite like Rustly.
Rustly. There's Rustly with pockets filled with wrapping paper. Standing next to, of course, Scott, who is there.
Can I be Lanky?
Lanky. Lanky is like a whole 1.5 foot taller than most of the elves.
He changes the bulb.
Lanky changes the bulb. But all of the individual Christmas lights around there.
Busy elf.
Yeah. And Hunter, who else is there?
I'll be hungry and I'll taste test all the food that goes out for Christmas.
Hungry, not quite as big as Chunky.
Oh, it's only taste testing. I don't need the whole thing.
There you
I
go.
have a refined palate.
Is Hungry pretentious? The 3 of you are there.
Pretentious behind his back.
Everyone, just go back to your huts. We're gonna have the party soon, so don't fret. Just go get ready for the party. Everything will be
Oh,
okay.
yippee! I love parties!
Rusty, I swear to God.
What would the hors d'oeuvres be?
I was kind of in love with Kardashian.
A lot of the elves have disbanded and gone to their huts and stuff, and gone to their jobs just to clean up before the party. And it would be these guys had just left into the distance. Firstly, other people to keep the panic down. I'm going to the office. He heads off, and then that will be when you see in the distance a small figure approaching.
I see him first, presumably, because I'm so tall.
Absolutely.
Who's that? Guys, someone's coming. Is it Kardashian? Please say it's Kardashian.
I recognise that ridiculous walk anywhere. It has to be
Stevie.
Stevie!
Yeah. Get inside. Get inside, everyone. Get inside. Get it. And he kind of screaming this at everyone.
Oh, it's time to party!
Where's Kardashian, Stevie?
Kardashian's dead.
What?
And so's Chunky, and I'm pretty sure Slightly went too.
I thought the Instagram live she was shooting was a joke.
Lanky was watching.
Following it the whole time.
Lanky, the only other elf with a phone, because Lanky wants to support Kardashian.
He always gets reception up there.
Yeah.
And Stevie then like barges past into the stable. If you're not in the next few seconds, I'll close at the door. Dude.
Suppose we'll see what this fool wants.
Let's get in.
I don't know what they were, but there was some dark creatures out there. They had death in their eyes, and also on their hands, because they murdered the elves out there.
What? Whatever you're talking about.
It's all a very fantastic story, Stevie. Where is your proof?
My proof?
Is him just sipping on some of the wine?
What are they, Stevie?
I don't know. Some sort of creatures thirsty for blood.
What about Santa?
Lanky, you might want to sit down for this one. You've got a lot further to fall. There goes Santa. There was nothing I could do to help any of them. I only got there too late.
It seems rather convenient, Stevie,
What?
as I'm now drinking a Merlot.
Where the fuck are these glasses
How
coming
were you able to escape and the others weren't?
Because I'm fast and tough, whereas Chunky was slow and Slightly was not tough, and Kardashian, well, bit of a shit.
Good points, well presented.
What should we do?
I don't know. I don't know who they are, why they're attacking, what they're doing here. They just think we need to stay inside and hide and hope they don't get in.
So you think they're following you? I suppose that's them then.
We need a trap. Let's make a trap. Let's do something creative and make a trap. Can use my wrapping paper to wrap them up when they come through the door.
It's a fucking awful idea, Rappy. Rustly, whatever your name is.
I can show you. Stand up again, Lanky. Stand up again.
Yes?
And I use my magic never-ending wrapping paper roll
Yeah.
to wrap it like quick as you like 50 times around his leg. Now try and escape.
This is brilliant. Do you think it would work, Stevie?
It might just. No one can rap like Rustly.
I pull out my scissors and just go like you know when you cut the wrapping paper without snipping, you just like.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very
And
satisfying feeling.
I released Lanky like 50 sheets of paper at a time.
Ooh.
Lanky, don't look at me that way. You know you're not my type.
We need weapons. Weapons, Stevie.
Well, I've got a sword, and this is mine, so. Good
We
luck.
should go to the toys department. I think a metal bat would work very well against these.
I suppose I'll humor you.
It's a dangerous one, but the toy department ain't too far away, is it? You take a left and that's that straight road there.
It's not inside the same building.
No, that would
Shit.
be easy.
Let's do it.
I'll humor this whole little situation, I suppose.
And Stevie kind of like looks through the door, the cracks in the wooden door. Wait, I can't see anything out there. He opens it. Go, go, go.
I'll run first.
I'll follow.
I'll be at the back, just. I'm a Sauvignon Blanc now.
Do you even run? Do you just like walk
Just
kind of
saunter,
like
yeah.
slightly quickly?
Oh, I
Yeah.
hate a saunter. And that's when Stevie closes the door.
I thought Stevie was coming too.
I also thought Stevie was going.
It would appear Stevie's locked us out.
Go.
I can see why Kardashian always hated him.
You guys head towards the toy making area. You hear like in the distance.
Shh, guys.
I'm trying, but it makes a sound when I walk. That's why they call me Rustly.
Rustly. You're easy to hear and I'm easy to see. We're pretty. And Hungry is easy to smell because he's always eating something.
And he smells of wine.
You guys have the toy making center in sight. And then, just from an alleyway, between the candy hut and the milk trough, two glowing circles that are like knee level, that then go up to an incredible 6'1", as then out the alleyway, some tall, horrifying creature with a chin and chest stained with red.
Well, I suppose Stevie wasn't lying.
Already running.
Yeah, go.
Lanky trips up over Lanky's feet.
Lanky,
Yeah.
no.
Soon to join Kardashian.
Rustly, your paper kind of falls at your feet. You don't trip over it, but it slows you down. And just because of their delay, Hungry managed to extreme saunter. Knees high, feet out. Gets closer to this toy store.
Didn't lose a single drop.
Tactical swirling. Rustly, because you had failed as well, you kind of look back, just looking to see what time you've lost, and you see the creature holding on to Lanky's ankle, using Lanky's height against you. Swing above its head. Knocks Rustly to the ground.
Jesus.
And then Lanky dragged back, head up, as the creature.
Lanky! I'm sorry, Lanky! I ran away from Lanky.
Hungry, you are at the toy shop door.
Enter.
It's locked from the inside.
Oh, of course it is. I carefully put my glass down. And then I do a gentle knock on the door. Tap, tap.
I know.
Hello, can you let me in? It's Hungry. I need just a few things.
Scott, what elf on the inside hears this knock?
It's a massacre.
Dweeby.
Dweeby.
Dweeby's quite small and quite nerdy.
Dweeby is assistant to lists.
I do deduce that any of these creatures wouldn't probably friendly knock on the door, so I think I'll allow him in.
You do that. And on the other side, you see Hungry. But behind them, on the ground, you see this creature. Wrestling, the creature looks up at you and starts jumping at you. It doesn't get its teeth into your throat yet.
I want to try and throw my wrapping paper at it like a smoke screen.
You just throw up a roll and just kind of do a side shuffle, and it goes into the paper and kind of rolls across the floor.
Like slipping in the snow, like legs moving like this.
As it's on all fours, rustly, then 1 foot on its coccyx, 1 foot between its spines, spotting 1 foot on its head, and just leaps towards the door, and almost like tackles Hungry in, as Dweeby, you do get to close and lock the door in time.
A perfectly good rosé from the Himalayas is lying out there.
You guys are in the toy store, the one place that a lot of elves wouldn't have naturally gone to, because they haven't used it in like 3 days.
Does anyone know how to kill these things?
Luckily, we write children's books here, and I have read them, and apparently these things are called vampires. They are quite the fearsome fellows, and there are a few ways we can kill them. Number 1, natural sunlight, which we seem to be in short supply of.
Yes, it's winter at the North Pole.
Scott, you gonna give me Rona?
I wouldn't recommend that particular course of action. 2, they have a particular distaste to garlic, much like myself. I like my food nice and bland. 3rd one. This one seems to be quite obvious, is that you stab them in the heart, much like any fucking other living creature. That will kill them.
Yes, I suppose it's generate a new sun, cook them a very hearty meal, or viciously, violently stab them. I know which one I'm choosing.
Good thing I brought my stabbing scissors.
And it's a good thing I brought my fresh garlic from the Himalayas.
Go more places, Hungry.
I cannot rationally explain how you have that garlic, but I'm happy you do.
I'm like twirling my scissors like a butterfly knife. How do we slow them down enough to stab them?
The book did not cover that fact.
So we're going to need some kind of trap. I vote we send a lowly elf out as bait.
Who are you calling lowly?
Lowly?
Pretentious. No!
Lowly's head sticks from underneath one of the tables.
How would you like to save Christmas? And more importantly, my glass of rosé, which is still out there.
They never gave me a job, so I didn't.
I'm going to karate chop him in the back of the neck.
Which, luckily, Dweeby has long studied the form of karate onto the ground.
Morally, this is a questionable thing to do.
That's okay. Morley's not here.
Yeah, damn it. Morley works in HR.
And he will not be hearing a word of this.
I concur.
Rowan, I'd like to grab Lowly and just walk to the door. Are there any toys that were too violent?
I think there's quite a lot, but it's hidden amongst all of this useless shit.
So Rusty goes looking through for a better weapon. Can't find one, and Sammy goes, well, at least I've got my, Fuck. You lost your scissors amongst the toys and cannot find them. Critical fail! You know what? I reckon, being a fucking nerd, Dweeby finds some sort of toy made for a fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer or something. It basically looks like a wooden stake.
Excelsior. I think we need to take down the leader. I'm hoping there is some kind of plot device that allows us out of this situation.
Well, with any luck, the leader will be the one that's out there and it will save us all a big load of trouble. Rowan, I want a 12-gauge shotgun.
Yeah, right.
Right, where's Lowly gone? Implement plan.
Guys, I must have hit my head on the table.
Hit him again.
Okay.
Lowly.
Okay, I'm gonna hold still. I'll wrap you in paper so they can't bite you as easily.
You also wrap Lowly, throw them out there, and they'll spend extra time like ripping into the wrapping paper.
Brilliant idea. We'll do him with some ribbons as well. So it's and we'll tape every seam so it's impossible to get in.
As human sacrifices go, we're now gift wrapping the human sacrifice.
Well, as Rusty is saying it, he is doing it. And Lowly now looks like just such a wonderfully decorated hidden body.
Chaps, let's cause the demise of some vampires.
The door is like thrown open, and in slow motion, like a big roll of wrapping paper goes out through the air, and behind it, as it kind of falls down, it's like the three of us with a shotgun and a stake and more wrapping paper.
They're just like feasting on Lanky is the vampire. The vampire.
You should really give up on Lanky. He's all bone and sinew.
Hungry? Pass the parcel.
Humorous quips are not conducive to good battle tactics.
As it lands, it kind of crawls over, sort of golem style, and its claw just tears open a hole around the neck of the creature. Fellas, I'm here to follow some rapid paper. Gotta help me.
I would like to now, Rowan, shoot this decrepit beast.
Slowly at all.
And its face starts steaming.
I run in and start wrapping up its head.
Dweeby makes his way to the heart with the stone.
Dweeby runs, foot on its knee cap, and then just and it starts like twisting, almost like it's claymation, and it shrivels up. Ramping around its head, but like it's like extreme rigor mortis hit all at once, but it's steaming as whatever post-life magic was put on it has gone away.
Unnerving. What goes on in this building?
Look, we know this works. Oh, let's unwrap Lowly.
Or just,
Let's unwrap Lowly.
We could do this again.
I don't think he was integral to the plan. It's just Lowly. How useful can he be?
Exactly. Let's give him some use in his final day of life.
We might blame us if we unwrap him.
I'm gonna unwrap Lowly before he suffocates. Lowly, shut up. You were useless. Pathetic. I've never seen a worse display. Right, let's go back to the stable and rally the elves.
I will recover my glass of rosé that has been nicely chilled by the snow.
Yeah.
Stevie locked us out of the stables. I've got a message for him.
Stevie! Open the door, Stevie!
Yeah. Now I'm losing it, so now I'm banging on the door with the butt of the shotgun.
Please make less noise.
Is there anything following you?
No. We killed a vampire. We know how it's done. Rally the elves. It's time to wrap this up.
What's a vampire? You hear just a small crack above you as an icicle falls into the floor. You look up and you see two of those dead eyes peer from over the roof.
I slit Lowly's throat open very quickly.
Sorry, is Dweeby also Oscuro?
Turns out that's just Scott.
Rationally, this makes sense. I know I haven't seen Rationally in a while.
That's a good point. We could probably use rationally as well.
Rationally always has the best ideas.
No, Rationally would actually work in Hungry's department. Rationally just made sure Hungry didn't eat too much.
We have to save some for the children.
One of these days, rationally.
Guys, the vampire's looking over the ceiling. Anything else you guys are doing?
Give him Lowly.
You throw Lowly to the
jump
side,
down onto top of it.
and it does jump down onto where you throw Lowly. Stevie's
Stevie,
like, he's headed in front of you.
open the fucking door.
Hurry! And opens the door.
I'm gonna flick Stevie on the ear as I go in as well.
Oh no, I'm gonna shoot him in the face. You let us to die!
I was not expecting that. I will shut the door now.
Rusley, take the sword.
Yes, please.
Dweeby, hang on, we can kill this one while it's feasting on Lowly.
Oh, don't waste the bullets.
You hear it sniffing
Oh, okay.
the air as more blood is being shed nearby.
Yes, don't
Oh,
waste the
shit.
bullets.
At this point, it is believed that Baxter was going to make a joke about someone suggesting not to waste the bullets, despite the fact the shotgun bullet was just used on a friendly elf while they had dangerous vampires out there. Sadly, Baxter never managed to finish this joke.
Throw Stevie out there as well.
Throw Stevie out there. And we lock the door very quick.
You're welcome.
We've now killed Stevie, who seemed to have the respect of all of the elves, and none of us seem very likable at all.
Stevie doesn't deserve our respect.
Who wants to give the Independence Day-esque speech to our brethren?
We're going to live on.
This will be on Christmas Day. It is Christmas Day.
We will cancel the apocalypse.
Some powder white snow falls from the ceiling. It's more like dust. It's from the inside. But there's something on the roof.
Guys, I don't want to be the there is something up there guy. But there is something on the roof.
Where's Roofy?
Roofy got a lot of trouble last year's party.
Her new name.
He's got a new name now. He's
Let's just call you what you are, Roofy. Oh, Rowan, cut that bit out.
Yeah, that's not going in.
morally, we'll see to that. Don't you worry.
It is
Guys,
free in the stable, by the way.
Oh wait, was Stevie not holding like a load of other elves in there?
No, Stevie was substantially selfish.
I thought there was a whole army of elves in this shed.
What is in this shed?
All sorts of hay and like gear. There's Stably. Stably the elf is there. Stably isn't looking too stable right now. Fixin is there. Fixin is the deer that ain't quite right to go.
Stably, is that your poo or the reindeer's?
I go in my own corner, thank you very much.
We may have made a mistake of making the assumption that there was an army of elves in this shed.
Why would you do that to Stevie? He was such a hero, is what you just told me.
Shut up, Stably.
You hear the saliva-filled growls. One on the roof, one at the door with its claw. And one like prowling around the back of the stable.
You're all so spooky vampires, aren't you?
I'm Mount Fixin. Come on, guys.
Let's get on Fixin.
We're going to make a run for it. We're going to get them all to chase us away from here, and hopefully we'll find the head vampire and we can kill him before they all catch up.
Stably, you stay here and make sure everything's neat and tidy for when we return.
Wouldn't one of you need to open the door?
That's your job. That's your very important role in this.
I want to be riding on the back of Fix It, but facing backwards.
Yes.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
And as the door is moved, as the door starts to open,
Oh, shoot it!
this dude's still alive, but in pain. You got 2 shots left. As the tongue of Fixin waves up and down. From the roof jumps a vampire from round the back. You reckon you've got 4, but maybe the numbers may build as you ride towards the forest. And at that point, Fixin gets an itch in its side and just stops. Rushly, you go over the head and starts itching its side.
Yeah.
Everyone falls off this reindeer as it's kind of like on its back, just kind of scratching on the ground. You got a head start away from the vampires, but as I say, the numbers are increasing.
Fixin, get up, get up, get up.
Fixin like gets up. The vampires are getting close upon you.
Let's go, let's go.
Yeah, jump back on.
Everyone,
This is the end of Hungary.
Can I throw my, like, an extent of wrapping paper to the ground and he can, like, hold onto it and, like, drag behind?
Oh, absolutely. This is brilliant. I've never respected Rustley more.
Rusley is actually kind of on the front of Fixin's neck, holding on for dear life, as Dweeby kind of threw himself over the back of Rusley, much like he's been hunted over the back. As Fixin starts to take off, the paper gets thrown. Hungry, you hold the paper. You start to get dragged as the vampires, they're like a meter behind you. 2 meters behind you. They are 5 meters behind you. As the paper tears.
No.
But the rosé stays standing.
Yeah, the glass is still perfectly in my hand.
They're still chasing you, but they're not like on you.
Dweeby, this makes no sense.
That's when you realise Tweeby is no longer on the reindeer.
Dweeby. God damn it. So I rear back the reindeer and go back to, like, grab Dweeby from the ground, like, as I ride past.
Rusty goes charging past and Tweeby like... From the woods, Dweeby hears some rustling.
I do deduce I am in trouble to try and climb up a tree.
You, with the help of the stake, make your way up the tree.
I'm looking back and I see him climbing the tree. So I'm going to prepare to attack the vampire with the reindeer.
Then slowly from the bushes come... You see 2 vampires come out, and you see a third start to exit as well.
3 vampires? No, I'm out of here.
Dweeby, they use their talon-like claws to start climbing the tree.
I'm sorry, Dweeby!
Objectively, this is heartbreaking.
And one managed to get your leg, and you get dragged out of the tree.
No.
What have you...
Rustley rides back towards the village.
Fail.
Oh! Get thrown off Fixin one last time, as you are now stuck in the open by yourself.
Fuck. I just wrap myself in paper and put a little bow on top. I stare at the stars and I say, well, Santa, I guess that's a wrap.
Oh, Rustley, ladies and gentlemen. As we'll cut to Santa's office, with Firstly pacing up and down as you look outside the window. Who managed to get into the office with Firstly?
I want to be morally.
Morally?
I'll be Rufy.
Rufy and Morally were having a career discussion when this all kicked off.
Guys, you can for sure be Rufy, but guys, I need you to understand. We have to be careful.
He's actually going to be a roofer.
And Hunter, who else is there?
Oh god, I'm running out of adjectives.
Securely, the security guy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what are they doing? As first is looking out of the window.
Firstly, we have to help them. It's the right thing to do.
Morley, shut your fucking mouth! Shut your fucking mouth, Morley, I swear to God! You're
I have
only
to.
like-
I have to insist that you watch your tempo. We use our inside voices in the office.
Look at him! Look at him! He grabs you by the back of the head and first goes in there. Look at him, Morley! As there is just blood and limbs of elves.
I must protest. This is a hostile work environment.
Firstly, please unhand Morley before I need to get physical.
As you look down on, there is in fact just like one elf there. An elf with stained clothing and a dirty hat. There on his knees is Stanky. And Stanky is looking up at the shadows where you can see those familiar reflective orbs. Please, please, you promised me. You said you'd make me one of you if I gave you the location.
Fucking Stanky sold us out.
Then steps forward is one that looks very similar to all of these creatures you've seen walking about. But this one has got a stolen red coat, and its long fingers go around Stanky's head. Ishkandar lifts it up, and then with these two fingers puts it below its neck, and then spine.
Oh, I don't think deserve that.
I think he served an Afghan, this one.
This is the worst room in the
We
world.
just need to calm down. Think this through, and together, with the power of teamwork, we can come up with a plan. This is the elf way, is it not? This is what our elven company stands for, is teamwork, cooperation, and somehow restoring joy in the face of all evil.
Right. As much as I hate to agree with a woman, I feel like morally might be correct here, and we really need to come up with a plan, you know, to give his vampires.
Rufy, do you have any roofies left?
This can't be a plot point.
Bro, just let it happen.
Hey, it was never proven.
They were found in your coat, but look, I have them, and that's all that matters right now. Maybe we can use these to our advantage. How do we get Mr. Redcoat down there to eat one?
I have a brilliant idea, guys. I want to whisper to old Securely and Morally.
Oh, fuck you.
Are you sure whispering this to morally is a good idea?
Yeah. In fact, I maybe want to whisper to Firstly.
Yes.
Securely. If we put my entire roofie stash in her mouth, get the vampire to eat the mouth, vampire gets roofied.
In Nam, we did similar techniques.
Guys, please involve me in this plan. It's very rude.
This can't be the
That
right
is-
mistake, girls. Firstly, looks real nervous and sweaty, and clearly, like, you can kind of see exactly what sort of leader Firstly would be in an apocalyptic situation. Firstly won't verbally agree to it.
So Morally,
Yes.
we think your idea is great, right? Well, yeah, donut here if you like it.
There's just going to be a massive cut to us, like, being in the room, to then the end.
I mean, Office Donut Day is always my favourite day of the week.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, this one's got some lovely filling on it.
Can you put filling on a donut?
No, firstly, I need you to calm down.
Firstly, we need to not be pedantic, really, don't we? Because that's not constructive to the workplace.
Maury, I apologise. You should have the whole donut, all of it.
Well, thanks very much. That's such a gentlemanly thing of you to offer.
Gentlemanly was the best of us.
She's struggling to chew the whole donut right now.
We can't allow any digestion to happen at this stage, and we need it to be in her mouth.
No, I think maybe we should let her finish the whole thing.
Try to let my women finish.
As I start trying to tell off securely for that comment,
That's
stuck in my throat.
yo, Count Kringle out there, Count Kringle.
First
top.
he tries to tackle you to the ground. What are you doing?
We've got to get his attention. haven't
Right,
we?
but let's wait a bit, because Morally is clearly in some sort of peril.
Firstly, I'm not going to tell you again.
You're
Maybe a
being
little bit more down.
stupid. Only-
Rowan, I want to, like, get him in the dormant sleeper hold.
We gave you all training for this.
Just let it happen.
And yeah, Firstly is now out. And honestly, I think are we safe to say Morley is choked to death?
Reasonable, yeah.
Cool. Hiding downstairs, someone hears a full-on commotion. You were trying to be quiet earlier, but someone hears a commotion upstairs. Baxter, who is downstairs?
Sneaky.
Seriously.
Sneaky, of course Sneaky survived.
Oh, I think I'll go check it out. Knock, 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 knock.
I am a little bit worried about the situation we find ourselves in here.
Okay, let me put firstly behind the desk.
I'm just pleased.
Now the woman ran out of room behind the desk.
Yo, my man, who is it?
It's Sneaky.
I've always loved that guy. Let's let him in.
He's gonna do nothing to upset the apple cart.
What's going on up here, guys?
Now, take into account we made this decision under serious pressure. Morally over there, who you might have noticed as you walked in the door, is... Well, there she is.
There she is.
You close the door, she's hanging from a coat hook.
It looks like in the panic she tried to eat a donut and she choked and there was nothing we could do.
If we can find a weapon to kill the old big bad out there,
When I was watching the yard, I saw some of the other elves. They used a wooden stake to kill the vampire.
do we have anything like that around?
Sneaky watched the whole time.
Right, is there a wooden chair in this
There's
office?
wooden chairs, there's a wooden table.
I'd like to kick one of the legs off the chair.
You have a pointy chair leg.
We
Thanks.
get maybe more than one stake, just in case one of us is incapacitated.
Well, I've made this one.
Well, I'll make my own one to kill.
Cool. Everyone has a wooden stake of some form.
Shall we get the old head vampire's attention?
Can't we just like throw this one out down the stairs and he'll just see her and eat her?
That's a good idea, Sneaky. Let's go for that.
I always liked you, Sneaky. You never caused a fuss.
That we know of.
Yeah, let's grab the old broad off the hook and chuck it downstairs.
Throw down and out of the building, I assume. Morally. And the vamps start to swarm it, come away from Morley's body, and out walks the one in the jacket, the clear leader, the sire of the vampires, who kind of sniffs down and takes a bite and drinks some of the blood. And Morley is feasted upon.
Watching is good. How long does it take?
It'll take probably around 180 to 190 seconds.
I didn't know we had Dweeby up in here.
You hear a ding, ding, ding on the window as there's a vampire right outside the window.
I am sorry, sir, but the office is closed. Please come back at another time. Now, I don't know if you heard me there, sir, but I will repeat myself once more. The office is currently closed.
As its hand powers through, you kind of fall backwards with the hand, and it starts to like force its way in.
I try and stake it.
She will also try.
It kind of rolls in, and you both charge at it, and with both stabs, and start to like shrivel up in a way you've not seen yet. There has been a hassle made, and the office begin to be surrounded.
Push it out the window and then like dust myself off as if I've done.
Plan. We're gonna go up the chimney, wait for the vampire to get roofied, jump on him, do him.
Aren't there more of those things on the roof?
I'm gonna take my chances with the chimney.
Almost as if Sneaky's done it before. You just see the cloak, because Sneaky's got a cloak, obviously. Just
I'm going to follow him. He looks like he knows what he's doing.
I will attempt to go up, but if I fail, I want to like pretend like I wasn't even bothered about going up.
Let's be real. Securely has only worked the vanity muscles, but that does mean Security's got a bit more shape to him.
No core.
No core. Can't physically climb, and also the shoulders are now too wide to be able to fit up. As Rufy looks down, Rufy actually realises that Securely has made quite a good stopper to stop anything else. As you see Securely looking up as Security's legs are being devoured by vampires.
From 1 to 100 real quick.
I told him they weren't allowed in. Why does no one respect me?
You are securing the entrance in your final death throes, though.
He died as he lived, an obstruction at best.
Rufy and Sneaky are on the roofs, which is both of their preferred terrain. And you're like the highest roof in this general area. You can see the small elven village around you, and you hear the occasional, "No! No, please, no, 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 please, no!"
Sneaky, where is your best hiding place? We need to hide.
In order to hide from a monster, you have to think like a monster. To the dormitories, we're gonna hide under the bed. I've been hiding under the bed for years and no one's ever found me.
quarreling. I can't do this. I'm a changed man. In the actual survival, I have to go back to my hunting ground.
You hunt.
No! No!
You guys just like the wind going across these roofs, jumping from building to building, ignoring the plea of elves in terrible, terrible situations. And you guys run and you hide under the dormitory.
I reckon we hide there for at least the allotted time it takes for him to fall asleep, so 28 minutes.
They go to the dormitory and hide under beds. And there is blood in this dormitory. This dormitory has been it was once a hiding place that vampires have already been to. And as you lie one in one bed, one in the other bed, let's say Sneaky's under this bed, Sneaky looks to their left and sees Rufy. And then Sneaky looks to their right and sees...
Sleepy!
Sleepy!
No idea what.
I have
Sleepy
no idea what's
slept
happening.
through the ceremony.
As a tradition.
Sleepy just built a little blanket fort under the bed.
Sleepy! Sleepy! Sleepy, wake up! Shh, 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 Sleepy, shh. We're hiding here. Something. Sleepy, stay with me. Hey!
Yeah.
Something horrible has happened, Sleepy.
You woke me up. That's what's horrible.
Sleepy, it's a serious. Just, as long as he doesn't snore, he'll stay hidden, I guess. Sleepy! Stop snoring! You're going to attract their attention.
Whose attention?
The vampires.
Sleep.
As footsteps. Rufy, you look to the doors as going on and you see two vampiric foot walk past the bed, past Sneaky's bed, past Sleepy's bed. See the hand grab Sleepy's foot and drag Sleepy out.
I'm gonna save him.
Ooh!
Why did no one want me?
He's going to try and go out with one last selfless move.
Sneaky will help now that everyone else is, but he wasn't going to otherwise.
Rufy rolls out, which causes Sneaky to roll out. The first stake into the creature's heart. Sneaky jumps up and forward, and the vampire grabs Sneaky out of the air, bites its wrist. It'll just slice at Rufy. Your turn.
Can I just try and draw my pocket knife, stab it in the eye?
It then, sorry Sneaky, it then turns Sneaky around, plunges its teeth into Sneaky, and throws Sneaky's limp body away. Rufy
You've rolled another 5.
just stabs again. You're panicking now as it walks towards you. It pounces at Rufy.
He was the best of us.
We're going to cut to the outhouses that are fairly close to the office. Hidden in the outhouses are two elves. Scott, what is one of the elves hiding in an outhouse?
Vampire Hunty. No. I'll go with Cheery.
Cheery. I love to see Cheery. And Hunter, who's in the stall next door?
Poopy.
Poopy. Poopy is here. And behind the stall, just crawling into the outhouse, moving like a slug, is a perfectly wrapped parcel of some form. Rustly survived. Rustly's made it. This is like an hour later.
Can you unwrap me, please?
I am so happy to see you, Rusty.
Are you nearly done, Poopy? It's getting pretty serious out there.
About half hour.
You would have thought I'd be unhappy about sharing my time with Poopy in this apocalyptic hellscape, but I am surprisingly cheerful.
He's always good company when you're in the can. Like, if you want to chat, he'll have a chat with you, but if you just want to keep quiet, he won't bother you, you know?
Rusty, how the fuck did you end up wrapped up in a gift and rolling into our toilet?
That is a fantastic story. Yeah.
Do you know where the head vampire is?
You've not
No.
seen anything recently. You've basically just been wrapped up and started following the only smell you could. You just realised it started to get a bit quiet as you got here. And in fact, Cheery and Poopy would have noticed that it has got a bit more quiet outside.
Oh, well, that's something to be optimistic about.
Quiet is nice.
I think we make some steaks out of whatever we can find. And have fun doing it. Here's one I made earlier.
Fuck it, I'm allowed that. That's hilarious.
You're good at this, Cheery. You are.
You'll never work a day in your life if you love your job.
You know who loved Cheery? Morally loved Cheery.
I'll make a steak out of a piece of pipe from the sink.
All you need is some pipe and some PVA glue.
I've seen things you wouldn't imagine.
I think we try and get in touch with any live elves and see if they've seen the leader.
Guys, we have to use the Christmas miracle.
I would like to go back to my toilet and continue pooing.
But you know how this works, right? You stand in front of the mirror and you say, Father Christmas 3 times, and it summons the elves.
I mean,
You can try it.
I stand in front of the mirror and I say, Father Christmas, Father Christmas, Father Christmas.
You know what? Fuck it. A miracle happens. Of course, it takes you through to the hand phone of Vanity. You can't tell where she is. She's in a dark place with a handheld mirror. What's going on?
Vanity. I am delighted to see you, Vanity.
Vanity, we need to locate the head vampire.
The head vampire. Where are you right now?
In the toilets.
That's gross. How would you be able to identify the head vampire?
Well, we haven't seen it yet.
Have you looked outside?
I peek out the door.
You see a bunch of vampires asleep in the snow.
Is one of them wearing a red coat?
Yes, it is.
Wait. Wait. Did you look out the door? Fuck's sake. Wait. Vanity,
What's up?
we'll call you back.
Okay.
Happy? I
Yeah.
think we may have just had the biggest stroke of luck of our lives.
I'm actually cheery, but please continue. I'm happy.
Poopy, are you done, finally?
Yep.
Right. Let's...
Oh, there we go.
I
That's
mean...
a lot of noise, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, bit of toilet humour. Always gets them. Always the most intelligent joke you can make is one about poo.
Guys, as much as I'm enjoying this conversation, I think we should press on and complete our mission.
Right, I've encountered these things before. They're attracted by noise, so go quiet. And try not to smell like an elf.
What?
If it smells, you want.
Dear God, Poopy, you're right.
Blimey.
I will wrap maybe the last thing I wrap in my life, and I grab some toilet roll, and I wrap Poopy's poop.
I am slightly less enthused about this plan, guys.
In one hand, I carry Poopy's poop to disguise our smell, and in my other hand, a piece of lead pipe from the sink.
You'll
Rusley's in
get
the ship.
sepsis from that, Rusley.
You guys sneak out of the toilet and make your way towards the leader, who is lying on his front. As you stealth towards the head vampire, you do hear one vampire. And you look up, and there, with big red suspenders, without his jacket, in a white shirt covered in blood and a beard stained with blood, is Santa Claus. Hanging from his shirt is like a broken half of Dweeby's glasses.
I will distract Santa Claus while you deal with the vampire.
You're a good man, Rusley.
You are. I
You're a
am
good elf.
delighted with your decision.
If we're
Let's-
quick,
Let's
we
get
can
this.
get a few stabs in.
Let's get this big boy out of the way.
I'm being the head vampire now. The sire.
Is this coming through?
On 3.
How is he on is he on his front?
I feel like I really tried hard with this to show what he was doing.
We'll aim for the heart.
And with that, all three of you kind of line up your stakes from either side. This thing is really out for whatever reason. And then in the distance, Santa for a moment just stops him. And all three of you just plunge your craftily made stakes into this thing's heart. And it just twists up and turns and its neck cracks. And you see it age in years. Skin turns like tight and shrivels, and then just skeleton. The skeleton turns to ash, and then around it, all the vampires start to do that shriveling that I mentioned. And you hear this screeching all across the elven village. Santa himself. All of them hit the ground. You've killed the sire, and you've killed Santa. But you saved the village.
Same again next year.
No, I'd rather not.
I'm just gonna waddle away from where I've actually pooed myself at the sight of Santa.
Now, after like 5 minutes, elves begin to walk out of of their hiding places. Not all of them were very good at hiding places, but hiding places nonetheless. And then, amongst all of it, as the elves all get together, no one really wants to talk about too deeply what just happened. But Rushley, I guess, would be the biggest deliverer of news, because Rushley would know best what's happened. Then, steps forward after the whole story, comes, lastly, so, as the sun begins to rise. I guess Christmas was cancelled? So, the world woke up in tears, as no gifts were under anyone's trees. But that's okay, because the elves were now safe. And after all, isn't that what Christmas is all about?
I've used all my rap puns already, so cut.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Here's a toast to me and you, dear. Each December, it gets better. Every moment, we're together. Every season, every change, I know you still got me. And baby, I got you, and I got you. It's a Merry Christmas and Happy